Over the last year, I've done a lot of learning, whether that be social, emotional, or academic. I am in no way finished. It's my opinion that there'll never be a day when I stop learning. Here are the things I learned last year. Struggling to get up after falling down is okay. It's impossible to get straight back up. Having a refractory period within reason to gather your wits is perfectly natural and human. I'm not a robot, and I never will be. 2. People are not always gonna be there. Surrounding yourself with people who love you and whom you love is like the foundations of a healthy mental state. We all know that. School counselors have already told us all that. I began 2017 with the goal of having a very close-knit circle of friends that are all friends with each other. You know, we could hang out and go to sleepovers all together, all of us. We'd contribute to the overall wholesomeness of each other's lives. People are all different and they're not all gonna get together and, you know, get along. Friend 1 probably won't like friend 4 because they're from different reaches of my life and I can't make them get along, and I shouldn't blame myself for when they don't like each other. I shouldn't try to force them into situations with each other, which is awkward and not good. People have their own lives, AJ, and you don't have to be the thing they orbit around. I respect your friends' lives, I think, is the main issue of that. Number 3, pleasing everyone is exhausting. As a sort of footnote to the previous thing, I cannot be everyone's best friend at the same time, and they cannot all be my best friends. And it's okay to not have a best friend, or to have 6 best friends. Like, there's no rules around this. In movies and TV shows, a kid has a best friend that they've had since they were like 2, and now they're 18 and they still have the same best friend, and they've been through their whole life together. Yes, that happens sometimes, but mostly it doesn't. Again, friends just kind of, they come and go. Trying to be everyone's favourite person at the same time is really tiring and probably a bit selfish. The person I should aim to please the most is myself. And hopefully everything else will follow. Number 4, grades aren't everything. But that doesn't mean you should ignore them. This is going to sound kind of up myself. Like the rest of this wasn't up myself. But I've been getting pretty good grades my whole life. And that's just a fact, because I've worked really hard for them and I deserve them. At the beginning of 2017, I started getting not bad grades, like B- and C's and stuff, and I got so upset that my year advisor sat me down and had a chat to me. Her main advice was, you are not your grades. Which is good advice, yeah? It's good advice. I may have skewed the meaning a slight amount because I took that to mean, don't worry about them. No, you should worry about them. I completely stopped caring about my grades. I just let it go. I used to have like a set study schedule every afternoon, and I just stopped doing that because I was like, you know, it doesn't matter. I just got really lazy because I thought I wouldn't need to focus on my grades. About halfway through the year I managed to pick myself up and go kind of like, stop! Please focus on your grades. So I got myself back into the right headspace, but if I hadn't done that, starting year 12 this year would be so difficult. And I'd be starting it with the idea that I didn't need to focus, and I do. Your grades are not you. You are not your grades. No, they are not your whole life. They don't determine where you go for the rest of your life. But that doesn't mean they're worthless. 5. Bad things are always going to happen because we live in a world with other people. Last year, in August, my nan died. Nobody close to me had died before, and instead of going through the grief process like I should have, I ignored it. In hindsight, a bit disrespectful. Ignoring such a huge issue like that brought on one of the worst mood episodes of my life. Bad things are always going to happen, and dealing with them by ignoring them, by not dealing with them, is not healthy. A series of tragedies also befell my little community about like where I live, and I'm not going to get into that. But I dealt with that as well by ignoring it. I reasoned with myself that it hadn't happened to me and that I didn't know the people. It doesn't matter to me. Again, that's disrespectful and not healthy. I didn't let myself feel the emotions that I needed to feel in order to move on with my life. So, like, months passed and then finally I cried about it. And it felt so much better than just keeping it inside. But don't feel guilty for feeling emotions. Not only is it going to detrimentally affect you and your brain, but people around you are going to view you as cold and robotic, and bringing it back to number one, I'm not a robot, I never will be. And I should stop pretending like I am. Happy 2018, guys. Look after yourselves, drink more water, eat more greens. Unless you're my dad. He's on a medication that means he can't eat green vegetables. Isn't that weird? Maybe I'll do a checkup thing in about 6 months from now, maybe I won't. See you guys next time. You can buy my EP soon. I've been putting a lot of effort into it and I really like it and it's kind of cool. I'm cooking all the dumplings.